focus on this now. E-hailing drivers, they've been unhappy with their deal for some time. You might remember there was a stay away earlier this year. Well, the latest news is that attempts by the Gauteng provincial government to ease tension between drivers and Uber and Bolt have not really come to much. Uber takes about a quarter of each fare for commission. Drivers say that's just far too much. They say prices must go up if Uber doesn't want to slash its commission. All this, of course, in a context of a number of fuel price hikes in the past year. So what could all this mean for those of us who use e-hailing? I'm joined now by Henry Mathebula. He's chairperson of the E-Hailing Partners Council. Mr. Mathebula, thank you so much for joining us. We know that e-hailing drivers have been unhappy for quite a long time now. There was a strike. Has anything actually changed at all since that stay away, which was quite a lot earlier this year?
Good evening and good evening to the viewers. Unfortunately, not much has changed. As you indicated, the Provincial Department of Transport under the MEC Mathebula and then facilitated the mediation process between ourselves as the council, as the industry with the e-hailing companies, that is Uber and Bolt. And those meetings we had in which we were to talk about pricing and commission. Unfortunately, those meetings were never fruitful. The companies, both of the companies, they said they cannot do anything with the pricing and they cannot do anything as far as the commission is concerned, which means the commission remains the same and even the price remains the same. And it's a concern because we've been saying for years that these pricing are not sustainable. We are operating under a loss. Unfortunately, they dismissed us.
So, I mean, petrol prices have gone up, fuel prices have gone up a lot in the last year. Are you saying there's been no increase in fares at all?
This year, Uber, what they did a bit of increase of about R2 only on the base price. What it basically means, it means if you were to take a trip before that increase to Pretoria for 320, now it will only be 322, which it does not really do anything at all. In fact, we think such a price hike, it was an undermining to our intelligence because it does not do anything.
Give me a sense of...
if you will remember...
Yeah, sorry
if you remember, the price of petrol since January had risen by about R7 or so. And if ever you were to get a price increase after so many years of no price increase by R2, I think it's an insult.
Yeah. So if we take that trip from Joburg to Pretoria, you say it's now costing about R322. So a quarter of that will be taken by Uber as their commission. How much profit do you actually end up making once you've paid for your petrol?
In fact, on the 320, I was just making an example. It does not even come closer to that. In fact, it's less than R200. If you go to Pretoria, there is a trip which a colleague of mine took, and which the distance was about 102 kilometers, and it only charged 369. And he spent over 1 hour and a half on that trip. It only charged 369. To Pretoria, is less than that. So we are saying we are operating under a loss. If I can give you an example about that trip to, that 202 kilometers, petrol that we are going to put there is nothing less than 280 rand. If we were to look at a car that, will consume about 10.8 kilometers per 100. So, 10.8 liters per 100 kilometers. So we're talking about 11, and which in price value, petrol, it will be between 270 to 300 rand. And you get a trip that pays you 369 for 11 liters spent on the trip. So you are left with something like 80 rand or so. you know, and out of that 80 rand, you have then calculated all your other costs,
Yeah.
your data,
It's crazy.
your everything.
I mean, that is actually crazy for 1.5 hours work.
Crazy.
And I also, the other issue, and I know that you're calling for better regulation, is that there's much more competition, is that Uber and Bolt are just allowing anyone who wants to become an Uber driver, essentially, more and more people, no real regulation. So the competition is also ridiculous. So it might have been easier to make your profit, but now there's more competition. And of course, with the petrol prices up, and they're not prepared to take a lower cut, it's just becoming untenable. So I know that you've threatened a strike. What is your next move now? So attempts by the provincial government to intervene have come to naught. The Bolt, Uber not budging. What's your next move?
Our next move, we basically respect the embassy of Gauteng, of transport, and then have a meeting with him just to give him the feedback of what happened and our feeling. However, as the industry, we are yet to make a decision about the way forward. That is for the reason that we are saying we are calling for a mass meeting. The dates are going to be communicated very soon. In such a mass meeting, as the industry, we are going to make a determination as to how do we go forward. However, what I can tell you and tell the industry and the country as well is that we need transformation. Things cannot be as they have been for years with these e-hailing companies. Unfortunately, the government is also not coming through to assist us. We have been striking for too many years. You know, we have been on the road and we are seen as people who are always on the road. And it is because we have serious concerns. And, you know, unfortunately, even the Minister of Transport has deceived us. For more than 2 times going to his office, has never even attempted to do anything. So we are saying, as the industry, we need transformation, and we're going to push because this is our country, this is our business, this is our investment. We cannot let somebody win and win over and over when we are losing. So we are definitely going to see a way forward, but that way forward is transformation for us.
All right. Well, do keep us posted, and thank you very much for talking to us. That's Henry Mathebula, Chairperson of E-Hailing Partners, the E-Hailing Partners Council. And he's saying with the increase in petrol and Uber and Bolt refusing to take a lower cut in their commission and also refusing to put up fares, apart from a 2 rand on base rates, which really doesn't amount to anything at all. They are only just breaking even with a few pennies to spare.